Hello, fabulous Aquarius. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of November 2014, General Focus. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. What a great month is in store for you, especially at the level of home. That really is where so much of the power is going to be for you. And there's a lot happening on the level of career as well. When I look at your particular sky, we are seeing in the later part of the month harmonious energy, really good energy that reaches right to the heart of you, feels very, very comfortable for you, sort of a natural expression part of the sky is lit up for some very nice beginnings for you. But what we also have happening, especially in the beginning and the middle part of the month as well, is changes and progress on the home front, family front as well, and on the level of what it is that you desire to achieve on the level of career as well. You add to this a big dose of karma as well, and it looks like really good karma that you have sown. And some of the most important highlights that take place for you this month are going to be based on stuff that you probably have forgotten about, stuff that you either did long ago or stuff that other people are doing on your behalf that you might not even be aware of until the good news finds you. So let me start with the first part of the month. What we have happening in the first part of the month is a full moon taking place in a part of the sky that has to do with home. It has to do with your past and how you understand your foundations. And so it has to do with home in the sense of family as well, home in the sense of feeling at home within yourself. But there's also a practical part to this. It has to do with your actual living space as well. This particular full moon is speaking in supreme harmony with Mars and with Pluto. Now, Mars and Pluto right now are in a part of the sky for you that has to do with, ultimately, it has to do with karma. It has to do with the things that you're not aware of, the things already put into place. It has to do with reaping the energy that you have been giving out, and also connections that you already made, some that you might have forgotten about. It has to do with angels working on your behalf and experiencing a near miracle. I look at this configuration playing out, and I do think that on the level of home and family, very positive developments are likely to take place now. And it's not necessarily energy that you have to actively engage. It's not like you have to go out there and make it happen. If you want to sell your house, it's not about you going out there and doing something new or different, but very likely other people are already doing what needs to be done. You've already met the people that you need to meet. It's not active, is what I'm trying to say here. If you're trying to sell or you're trying to get a place as well, this is about you just getting the call. This is about somebody reaching out to you, possibly someone in your family, someone you've already been connected with, and saying to you, hey, did you hear there's this home available over there? Why don't you check it out? I thought you were looking for a home, maybe not, but why don't you go see that? And everything just falling into place very perfectly. Now, there is an interesting element to this particular full moon, and that has to do with Venus. Venus is standing across the sky from this full moon, and Venus has to do with, among other things, she has to do with the good life. She has to do with enjoying life, the pleasures of the earthly experience. And she has to do with also our heart being in what we do. And Venus is at the very top of your chart. And this suggests to me that there is going to be an element here that has to do with whether you're thinking, can I work in this space? Whether you're thinking about bringing your work home, creating a bridge between the two, and trying to find a balance between the two. There might even be an element here that has to do with, and I'm going to put this out there, that has to do with more practical matters as well. Whether the place feels far from work, or you feel like maybe getting your work done might be a bit of a challenge in this new place. And of course, this is Venus as well, and she does have an association with finances. And so there might be a question around finances as well. However, given the very supreme position of Pluto and of Mars with this particular full moon, it does suggest to me that ultimately it's almost as if you see the possibilities, you see what might be a challenge, you see what you'll have to make compromises with, what you'll have to balance with, and you see how you can make where it is that you desire to be more ideal. But you've also got the motivation to do the work, and you recognize that ultimately this is a place that you are supposed to be. The developments that are taking place are meant to happen now. So there's an awareness there of the energies that are playing out, the spiritual energies in particular. There's an awareness there that you are being guided, you are being led. And there's also an awareness there of just some really fortunate turn of events taking place for you in regards to the changes that happen, especially around the home front. So there's an element here that has to do with where you actually live. So that's what I've been stressing so far. There's another element to this that has to do with, so where you actually live, let me also say, this could actually also be changes that you make to your home as well. So if you're looking into redecorating or something, the opportunity to do that could just come out of the blue. Looking for a new roommate, finding the perfect person could just come out of the blue as well. But there's another element to this part of the sky that has to do with the past, and it has to do with family as well. And so this is ultimately what this looks like, is getting really good news where it comes to family, especially if there have been any health issues where it comes to parents or health concerns or hospital visits, where it comes to your parents as well. This is getting really good news on that front also. So getting some really encouraging news, some really great turnarounds are possible. It's possible, I'm just going to put this out there, it's possible that with Pluto and Mars in this position, and given that Venus is sort of in the sign of Scorpio standing across this full moon, it's possible that some surgery might need to happen for one of your parents. But it looks ultimately to be a good move, considering how positively lifted this full moon is, thanks to Mars, thanks to Pluto as well. There's also an element here that has to do with the evolution of your relationship with your family and with your parents. And I think about how sometimes when we're very young, we get sort of put into a certain role within the family dynamic. And then something may happen with one member of the family, and all of a sudden the roles change. All of a sudden another person has to be the responsible one. Another person has to be the one to bring the high spirit, to bring the joy. Another person gets the chance to be the irresponsible one. Now, it's unfortunate that we do sort of put ourselves in these roles, and it really is us that puts ourselves in these roles. And sometimes it can feel like these roles are chosen for us early on. However, life does present these opportunities sometimes to redefine yourself, and to redefine yourself in the context of your family, and especially your family of origin, the earliest people that you have loved and you have known to love you as well. So this is sort of a reconfiguration, if you will, and this is your chance to really step up and bring forward qualities within yourself that you really like, that you really respect, and to get to demonstrate that, and as a result sort of lift your perception in your own eyes. Come to understand that actually it's not only about the love being there, but it's also about an element of respect. This can also indicate you just like a parent sort of surprising you by letting you know how proud they are of you as well, and it seems to warm you very much, and it seems to be very meaningful to you as well. And you know, I share sometimes in these videos, and I'm very much of the belief that so much of what we do is ultimately motivated by, you know, these unconscious factors that were put into place before we could even speak. And I do think that one of those has to do with this sort of eternal desire that we have within us, no matter how old we get, no matter how much we strive for awareness and spirituality. There is this part of us within that wants to know that we are good and that we have done good, that wants to know that we are approved of, And I do think that this is going to be one of those moments for you where you know that within you, whether it's you know that on a level of spirit, or you know that by proxy, or it's actually a direct interaction, a direct conversation. You are going to get a really lovely affirmation via the family, and that's going to allow you to see the whole family dynamic and even your parents differently than you've known before. And with this, of course, as I mentioned, there's also an element that has to do with you feeling more at home within yourself, your spirit feeling more at home within your body as well. And this can be a very powerful shift. There are a lot of people out there who go through a phase, and I do think that this is something that I actually hear a lot of from men and women, but I do know that women talk about this a little bit more openly. This whole journey towards a deeper self-acceptance, the journey towards being more present for yourself, having that level of acceptance and even celebration for who you are, and turning those things around that you thought were weaknesses or the things you didn't like in yourself, and seeing the beauty in them, in those very things that you rejected or you criticized as well. And this can really be a huge shift that takes place very deep within you, possibly facilitated by a dream that lets you know that you're now in a new space, you're now in a new time, you've reached a new phase of life, and you can sort of let those, you know, sort of nagging criticisms, you can let the discontent go. And you can embrace something that feels a little bit more natural and a lot happier and a lot easier as well. I'm reminded of how I really like to say to people that when you're meant to do something, it doesn't mean that there aren't challenges. It doesn't mean that there aren't going to be some difficulties or that you aren't going to work really, really hard. But when you're meant to do something, there's a certain flow to the way that things transpire, to the way that things come about. There's a certain ease that is there. And again, you might still work really, really hard. It might still feel really challenging. But there's certainly a difference when you're working with energy and it seems to be flowing smoothly than when you're fighting against life and you're fighting against energy as well. This could be you just really realizing that you are in that flow. The sky indicates that what it is that you need to find yourself in that easy flow of great ideas and great energy and feeling yourself in a place in your life that you really like is certainly on offer for you as well. In the middle of the month, we've got some other significant placements taking place for you. One is the meeting of Mars and Pluto, as I mentioned, in the part of the sky that has to do with sort of karmic conclusions, if you will. And I do think that this is going to be so important for you. I do think that this is going to represent that very shift of energy that I've been talking about. And this is sort of lightening your psychic load, if you will, putting that baggage down, understanding how you've been getting in your own way, saying to yourself, you know what, I'm not going to continue walking that psychological road. And this is also the opportunity to be deeply transformed as a result of a dream. So definitely, especially in the middle of the month, you want to be sure to document your dreams, because the chance of you having a dream that changes just about everything, your whole perception, allows you to really put the past behind you in a very meaningful way and allows you to fully embrace who you are today is very strongly indicated as well. What we also have happening this month is a buildup of planets moving over your ancient ruling planet Saturn. And so that is going to suggest a awareness and a heightened awareness ultimately of what your life purpose is. What is it that you most desire to do? Now, for some of you, there's going to be sort of a literal application to this where this energy manifests very much on the level of career and the actual work that you are doing. So it looks to be a diligent time. It looks to be a time of honest evaluation, and it looks to be a time of determination as well. And so there's an understanding that anything worth having is worth working for. And so you are contributing, you're actually involved in that process. You're engaged in that exchange of energy with the universe, where you're giving and you're expecting to get, and you're getting and you're giving as well. It is an equal measure, and there's that respect for time involved. And as a result, you actually could put a lot of things into place that lead to tremendous gains for a very long time to come. And then finally, in the later part of the month, we've got this really greatly placed new moon happening for you in a part of the sky that has to do with friendship. And this is actually part of the sky, what astrologers call houses. This is your house, if you will, in the sky. So this is sort of a very natural area for you that is lit up. Again, going back to this idea of being in the flow, understanding what being in the flow is in every area of your life. This is about you being in that place where you understand the easy flow of energy and put yourself in a very prime position to experience some really lovely moments that at the very least allow you to know that you truly are loved by a lot more people than you realized, and that there are a lot of people who actually want to spend time with you. So the energy does start getting more social as we move towards the later part of the month, but that's not before things first get private and then very public when you're working really, really hard. But by the time we get you to the end of the month, it looks like there's a shift in priorities taking place, and you're looking at spending a lot of time reconnecting with some people that you might even have lost touch with as well. I do think that this month does represent an important turning point for you, and I mean, I cannot overstate it enough. I know I've been touching a little bit on the stuff happening on a level of career, on a level of friendships, which is really nice, but ultimately, this is a very important time that really has to do with understanding your home in the world. And from that place of feeling safe and secure in your very own home, it makes achieving just about anything you desire that much more easier. It makes understanding that flow that makes success and meaning and life purpose come together so easily, that much more easier to access.